Welcome to Shelf Life, the show where every week we put one food and beverage brand on the table and take its social media apart. The good, the bad, and the thing everybody's about to copy and shouldn't. I'm Giovanni Gallucci. Across the table this week, back in the rotation, Rachel Donovan. Rachel, what'd you drag in?
A cookie, Gio. A peanut butter cookie older than both of us. Nutter butter. And I'm telling you, this account has no business being the scariest thing on my phone.
That's a perfect one to grade because Nutter Butter is the story everybody's pointing at right now and almost nobody's reading correctly. It's a Nabisco cookie, owned by Mondelez, been on the shelf since 1969, and in the last 2 years it turned its TikTok into something that looks like a horror movie shot in a peanut butter factory.
It works, though. That's what's messing with me.
It works. Over 1.5 million followers, 250 million views, and they did it with zero ad spend on a 55-year-old cookie.
Zero. On a cookie your grandma had in the pantry.
Zero. So let's find out how much of that's genius and how much is a trap with a skull on it.
Start me where you always start. The hook. Nutter butter shows up in my feed. Why do I stop?
Because your brain can't file it. Every other snack account is a hand model holding the product in soft light telling you it's delicious. Nutter Butter gives you a distorted cookie mascot staring into your soul, a creepy jingle, and a caption that means nothing. Your thumb stops because your brain hits an error message. Confusion buys you the half second, and the half second is the whole game on TikTok.
So the weirdness is the hook.
The weirdness is the doorbell. But here's the part people copy wrong. It isn't random. There's a character under there. A clown that goes back to their old commercials, giving sweets to kids, now turned into this menacing little figure with actual lore. They didn't throw spaghetti at the wall. They built a haunted house and put one consistent monster in it.
I keep seeing people in the comments talking about the story like it's a show they follow.
And that's the tell that it's working. When strangers start theorizing about your cookie's lore in the comments, you're not running ads anymore, you're running a serial.
Give me the grade.
On the hook, clean A. Not because it's strange. Anybody can be strange for a week. Because it's strange the same way, every single time, for over a year. The consistency is the asset. The horror is just the outfit it wears to work.
So the discipline is hiding inside the chaos.
The discipline is the whole thing. Chaos you can fake in an afternoon. A year of the same chaos, on purpose, that's a strategy nobody stumbles into.
Format. Are they using TikTok the way TikTok actually wants to be used?
Almost perfectly, and this is where it shows. They're not shooting a 30-second commercial and squeezing it onto a vertical screen. They're making stuff that could only exist on TikTok. Cheap, fast, deep-fried edits, jump cuts, the ugly on purpose look. It reads as native because it's native. A team at Dentsu Creative runs it with Mondelez, and word is they do a weekly brainstorm where the whole point is to make each other laugh, not to please a brand manager.
You can feel that. It doesn't look approved.
That's the trick most big brands can't pull off. The stuff looks unsupervised even though there's a real machine behind it. Their own team says the quiet part out loud. If a video makes too much sense, it doesn't perform. That's a format rule, not just a joke.
Wait, so the polish is the enemy now?
The polish is what kills reach. High production tells the viewer, this is an ad, scroll past. The homemade look tells them, this is a person, stay. Nutter Butter figured out that on this platform, looking expensive is a liability.
So why can't Oreo or somebody just do the same thing tomorrow?
Because the format isn't the videos, the format is the permission. Somebody at that company signed off on looking unhinged and then didn't flinch when the first 10 posts confused people. Most brands panic at the first weird comment and sand the edges back off.
And Nutter Butter didn't sand.
Nutter Butter held the line. Format fit is an A-. And the minus is only because a couple of the bits chase the algorithm harder than the character. When the monster serves the trend instead of the trend serving the monster, you can feel the seams.
Cadence. How often are they showing up, and does the rhythm hold?
Steady. And steady is the underrated hero here. This didn't blow up overnight, no matter how the story gets told. They were posting this stuff for the better part of a year before it broke. Went from around 400,000 followers to over 1 million in about a month back in the fall of 2024, and everybody treated it like a lightning strike. It wasn't. It was a slow build that finally caught.
So the overnight thing is a myth.
It's always a myth. Nobody posts the 11 months of quiet, weird cookie videos that nobody watched. They post the one that hit 12.5 million views and call it magic. The cadence is what earned the magic.
You have to be willing to be strange into an empty room for a while.
For a long while. That's the part nobody wants to hear. The consistency has to come before the payoff, not after. Most brands quit at month 3 because the numbers are flat, and month 3 is exactly when you're supposed to still be posting.
Is there a downside to staying that locked into one lane?
There's a fatigue risk, and that's the honest knock on cadence. When your whole identity is the escalation of one bit, every post has to be a little weirder than the last, or the audience feels the plateau. That's an exhausting treadmill for a content team.
Grade it.
B+. The rhythm is real, but they've boxed themselves into a corner where normal isn't allowed anymore, and that gets expensive to maintain.
Community. This is the part I actually want to hear, because the comments on these posts are a whole scene.
This is their best chapter, and it's the one nobody copies because it takes patience. There's a kid, a fan named Aiden, who spent over a year just commenting his own name on their posts. Every post. Just Aiden. And instead of ignoring him, the brand pulled him into the story, made him part of the lore.
They made a fan a character.
They made a fan a character. That's the most valuable move in the whole playbook, and it costs nothing. The second you turn your most loyal commenter into canon, you've told everybody else in the comments that showing up here has a payoff.
So you're not begging for engagement.
You're not begging for anything. No drop a comment below, no thoughts question at the end. You're running a world where the audience can get written in. People don't comment to be heard, they comment to maybe become part of the thing. That's a completely different engine.
So the comment section is the show.
The comment section is the writer's room. And that's the lesson for anybody with a brand and no budget. Your superfans are already talking. Most companies delete, ignore, or paste a canned reply. Nutter Butter promoted one to co-star.
Even a tiny brand can do that part.
Especially a tiny brand. You don't need 250 million views to make one loyal person feel seen. You need to actually read your comments and have the nerve to play along. Community Mechanic is a straight A, and it's the piece I'd steal first if I were advising a snack brand with 40 followers and a good attitude.
Last one, the retail loop. This cookie is in every grocery store in America already. Does the social actually drive the shelf?
Here's where I get careful because this is the question that separates a fun account from a business. The good news, the numbers Mondelez has talked about are real. Household penetration with Gen Z up, awareness up, brand equity up, and all of it organic on a tiny budget. For a 55-year-old cookie nobody was thinking about, that's a genuine win. They made a commodity feel like a discovery.
So what's the worry?
The worry is the gap between a view and a cart. 12 million people watching a cursed cookie video isn't 12 million people reaching for the blue package in aisle 9. A cookie is an impulse buy. The loop only closes if the weird actually walks into the store with you.
And views don't measure that.
Views measure attention, not appetite. You can be the most watched cookie on the internet and still lose the 3-second decision at the shelf. That's the trap of a viral account. The scoreboard says you're winning while the register stays quiet.
How would you tighten that loop?
Put the internet on the package and the package in the feed. Get the clown, the lore, the whole bit printed on the box, so the thing you laughed at on your phone is the thing staring at you at the register. Make the shelf a screenshot.
So the box becomes the payoff.
The box becomes the punchline. Right now the social is a nightclub, and the cookie is a stranger you met there. You want people to recognize it in daylight. On the retail loop, I give them a B, great top of funnel, and a bottom of funnel that's mostly running on faith.
Okay, wrap it. One thing they fix first, and the mistake everybody chasing them is about to make.
Fix first, tie the chaos to the checkout. The community stuff is already elite, so use it. Give the fans a reason to buy, not just a reason to watch. A recurring bit that lives on the box, a comment that gets you on the packaging, anything that turns the lore into a hand reaching for a cookie. Close the loop you already opened.
And the mistake?
The mistake is thinking unhinged is the strategy. It isn't. The strategy was one committed character, a year of nerve, and a team that reads its own comments. The weird is just the paint. Right now, every brand on earth is about to go strange for strange's sake, and the feed's already drowning in cookies trying to be creepy.
So the copycats get the costume and miss the bones.
Every time. Weird without a character underneath is just noise wearing a costume. The audience can smell a brand that went strange in a conference room last Tuesday.
So don't buy the skull, build the monster.
Build the monster. That's shelf life. I'm Giovanni Gallucci, Rachel dragged in the cookie, and we'll put another brand on the table next week.